Welcome to HR Hero on Call, the space where we navigate the intersection of career, purpose, and leadership. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, Noxolo. Noxolo works for the Energy House. Noxolo, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, George.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you.
I'm nervous.
Please relax. You're having a conversation with a friend, all right?
Okay. All right.
So, Noxolo, just want to understand your career from the very beginning. Where would you say you started from?
That's a good question. I'll start with studying. I mean, I was born and bred in rural Eastern Cape in a village called Shiloh, near Whittlesea. Very hard to see on the map.
Yes.
But I always tell people it's 2 hours drive from East London Airport.
I've actually never heard of it.
A lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
So I studied at Rhodes, a BCom in Information Systems and Management.
Yeah.
We studied during a time where being a Black young professional in South Africa was still in high demand because BE was new.
Yes.
So companies would come on campus during June for graduate placement week.
Yes.
So I was part of that group that got jobs before you even finished your final year.
Oh, through the career.
Yes,
that.
It was quite prevalent at our times. Companies like Accenture, your Investec, your Deloitte, they would come on campus.
Yeah.
They would take us on leadership development sessions in Johannesburg. I think it was my first time getting on a flight or something.
Yeah. What happened to those things? Actually, if you speak about it, what happened? There's a shift.
There's a big shift, and I keep asking myself that question because throughout my 4 years at university, I had a vacation job at Investec in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Every single vacation, June and December.
Yes.
I made my own money because I knew my mom can't afford the kind of stuff I want.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I get my license because when I got my job with Accenture, while I'm still doing my second year, and then I have a beautiful testimony actually to share about Accenture because when they offered me a job and I was on TEFSA, it was TEFSA then, it's NSFAS now.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I'm still going to study my final year and I'm studying on a student loan.
Yes.
And you've already employed me. You might as well sponsor my final year.
That's a very
And
good
that's how Accenture's bursary scheme started.
Oh, wow.
That there's a student, we've already employed her. She's asking us to sponsor her final year because it doesn't make sense that she's going to study on a loan while she already has a job with us.
Yeah.
That's when. So my sister always reminds me of those things when I forget who I am sometimes.
The power of negotiation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I finished and then I joined Accenture end of 2001.
Yeah.
I was going to go back to do my honors, but doing VEC work with Accenture that year, we were working on a project for the JSE. It was called the JARO project. It was the same system as the London Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
So I got exposed to working with that high-end project at an early age. And then I told them, I'm not going back for honors anymore. I was enjoying the money. I was like, nah.
Yeah, the money was rolling.
Please prepare my offer. I'm not going back to school anymore.
Yes.
So studied with Accenture for 2 years. But then my heart and passion for youth development got the better of me.
Oh, wow.
I sat down with my we had career counselors at Accenture, Mula and Yoga. I was like, I am not enjoying this. I'm not seeing where I make a difference in someone's life on a daily basis.
Because the big thing for you is to make a difference in people's lives.
I've always had that within me. So she was sitting on a board of an NGO at the time called the Youth Development Trust.
Oh, yes.
It was based in Gandhi Square in town. She said to me, the CEO of this NGO is looking for a programs manager to run a youth unemployment program that is funded. I think it was funded by Vodacom and Lonmin at the time.
Yeah.
Go talk to him this Saturday and see if you're the person he's looking for. A 1 hour conversation ended on a Saturday morning, ended up being 3 hours, and I had the job.
Oh, wow.
And I jumped ship from a corporate to an NGO.
Yeah.
But I also...
Would you say that was a good move, looking at the benefits from both sides?
Only crazy people do moves like that. Only hardcore, passionate people move like... Because our NGO was not really substantially funded. There were times where our salaries would be late. I didn't have the benefits I had at Accenture. There were times where you would be doing a project in the Northwest and you would run out of fuel and you need to try and call the CFO to send you money.
Yes.
But I loved the work I was doing.
Yes.
But I realized that development is very political.
Yeah.
And without me having the academic background in development, I had a handicap because you could do wrong while trying to do right if you don't do development the right way and partner well with communities.
I hear you.
So I applied for the Nelson Mandela Scholarship to go study at master's level in development in the UK.
Yes.
I got the scholarship and I went to study at Sussex in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You are a Sussex queen.
Oh, yes. Kalogu, the thing is, I was obsessed with former President Thabo Mbeki.
Yes.
He was my role model.
And
So
he's from the Eastern Cape.
I wanted to study where he studied.
Oh, wow.
Because he studied at Sussex.
Did it go that far?
Yes. If you think that's not even enough, his house is not even far from where I stay right now.
Wow.
That's how much I admired that man.
The importance of having role models.
And proximity.
See. And proximity.
Role models that you can relate to.
Yeah.
You know, representation.
Yes.
You know, people always talk about representation.
Yes.
Oh gosh, English. But that thing.
That explains the accent.
No, I'll tell you where the accent is coming from, actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't the UK, because I remember when I started at varsity at Rhodes, the other ladies at Rhodes kept asking me, are you sure you're South African? You know, during our time in the former Sky, our prime ministers were very open to foreign nationals coming as our teachers. Yeah. So in my village, we had a number of our teachers being Ghanaian, Ugandan, coming directly from India and everything. So I think it was a mixture of different people's accents that I picked up from being exposed early on as a child. Because my maths teacher was Ugandan, my English teacher was Ghanaian, my science teacher was directly from India. So I don't think I picked it up at Sussex.
We speak about proximity and exposure.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I think. So I came back from Sussex. The only thing, that scholarship at that time was sponsored by Unilever. And they didn't even demand us to come back and work from them. As long as we come back to the country and plow our skills in the country. So I came back and I crafted then my niche within corporate social investment in the private sector, where I would work for BHP Billiton Hotazel Manganese Mine in the Northern Cape as a supply chain transformation officer, where I had to work.
And BHP Billiton at the time was big, and everybody wanted to work.
It was big in the country at the time. It was very big,
in Mpumalanga.
Because their smelter in Meyatin, I think it was still functioning at the time. I don't think it's still operational at the moment. So I did work like that. I worked for Trialogue as a CSI consultant. I worked for British American Tobacco in the Western Cape as a sustainability manager. That was actually a very interesting role, because I remember I set up their very first carbon baseline, and with our carbon reporting and carbon disclosures, we actually got to win, what do you call this thing, sustainability awards at COP17 because of how we changed your disclosures and reporting in your sustainability reporting. After British American Tobacco, the IPPs, the independent power producers, were getting very popular. And Exxaro and Tata Power had this joint venture in Synergy, an IPP that was building wind farms in the Eastern Cape. And they needed a professional that's comfortable in a corporate boardroom but also equally comfortable with communities on the ground.
Yeah.
And a colleague I worked with at Trialogue recommended me to the CEO.
Oh, wow.
They called me, I tried to play hard to get, but when I eventually sat down to hear them out, I was sold in the dream. Then I came back from Cape Town, worked with IPPs. We built wind farms in the Eastern Cape, Tsitsagama and Cookhouse. Great partnership model with communities there, because those communities had equity in those wind farms. After I left Synergy, then I started building my own company, Energy House, where I consulted for the mining sector and IPPs on sustainable community impact work.
That's interesting. I was about to ask you to say, what do you do at Energy House?
Yeah, Energy House
it's
is my own company. It's a consultancy that helps with social impact architecture of sustainable projects, and the governance around community projects. And then my clients are your mining companies, IPPs, and the financial sector, actually, because ABSA recently was my client as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it looks like your experience has built you up to where you are now currently.
Yes, it has.
Being in corporate and now running your own business, what can you say about that?
It's actually hard to do the shift from being an employee to being a business owner.
Tell me about it.
It needs a different mentality altogether. Guys, it's easy to be comfortable with a salary that's guaranteed at the end of the month. Because I remember when I left Synergy end of 2014, I ran Energy House for 5 years until I ran out of steam. So when a former boss who was at BHP, was now at Coca-Cola, gave me a call and say, Nox, we need a manager for our agri fund, which is part of major conditions. Can you interview for the job? I jumped into it because guys, I was struck. I don't like hustling, guys, and I love soft life.
It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Exactly. When City called and said, can you interview? I jumped into it, interviewed, got the role, did it for 2 years, got burnt out again, and now we're in the middle of the pandemic. Took another break, I think for about a year. I even did a solo road trip around SADC for 50 days during that break, in the middle of the pandemic. And then I got a call from Sasol, can you come head up Sasol Foundation? I was like, yes, I'll come. I did that for 2 years as well. Took another almost 2-year break because the way we work in corporate, guys, is too hard. It's too hard. It could break you if you're not strong enough.
You need to have a thick skin for corporate. That's a discussion for another time.
Another day.
Yeah. So my interest is, how do you see yourself growing? What is the plan? What's in the pipeline?
All right.
Now your consultancy business.
Okay. I have been working on a number of long-term high-impact projects.
Yes.
The biggest one is developing an economic development zone around rural Eastern Cape in the district where I come from, where I have a series of agriculture, ecotourism, and renewable energy and education projects. While I'm allowing the consulting to sustain me while raising funding for these projects. Because I realize I'll never build anything big and sustainable if I keep jumping ship when things get hard and go back to corporate. Because you abandon your dream altogether and focusing on your employer's dream. So now I've learned to do that balance of fundraising for long-term projects while I make sure the consulting at least sustains me on a day-to-day basis. So that's the plan at the moment.
That's amazing. So if you were to now give anyone an advice to say, I need to tap into your career, what you're doing now, what can you say to them and how do they prepare for that? If you look at the camera and tell them.
Don't jump out blindly. Please build a cushion for yourself. Don't jump out blindly. Find a way to start what you're passionate about as a side hustle, if possible, while you still have your core job. That would really help. But also don't go on your own. Find people you can partner with, even if you start as volunteering in other people's projects or dream while you build your own. But don't let go of your core income and jump into passion without enough savings. And enough means it has to be more than a year kind of savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in this economy.
Yeah.
It's rough
It
out
can be
there,
tough, yes.
Cece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope that's good advice.
What a conversation. Thank you for joining the conversation.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah. So a word of advice: don't jump out blindly. Have a plan.
Please.
So yeah, that was Noxolo Nox. So we're wrapping up. Be intentional with your development. On to the next. Thank you. We out.
Thank you.